Hello guys, today's session is on how to install Kali Linux in VirtualBox. Okay, in the whole our program, ethical hacking program. Okay, so this course we will be mostly working on the Kali Linux only. So Kali Linux is the one distribution of a Linux which is introduced by a offensive security. So as we know, a lot of advantages are there in Linux because Linux is open source, it's free because you don't have to buy the license. And open source, it means like it's have the source code open where some other organization or any individuals they can put their contributions in on Linux. Okay, so that is advantages from the user point of view. Okay, and Linux is like high performance. The performance will be very faster and better than the another operating system. Okay, so now I'll just demonstrate you how to install the Kali Linux. So there is a different way to install. The first way like has a single boot. Okay. So when you in your OS Kali Linux, it will directly boot into the Kali Linux rather than booting into the Mac OS or Windows. It will directly start the Kali Linux. This is we call as a single boot. Okay. And the another one is dual boot where you will be having the two OS in the same system where you will be having the BIOS menu, boot menu, where it will shows as like you want to start from a Windows or else Linux. Okay. So this is called as a dual boot. Once if you click on Windows, then you will be boot into the Windows and you'll just have a Windows environment. But when you select as a Kali Linux, then Windows will not boot. Okay. Windows will not start. So it will be boot means start. Okay, so as a technical term we call as boot as a start. So it will be boot from a Kali Linux if you select the Kali Linux, and there Windows will be not available. Okay, so for doing the dual boot, what you will be doing, you will be deleting the partition. Like you will go to the Windows file and disk partition. From there, for certain size of disk you will delete, and then delete means you will just remove the file format. Okay, the file system format will be there like NTFS. Okay, ext4. For Windows mostly we use a NTFS file system. So when you're deleting the certain area of a file, okay, the partition, so it will be remove the file system format as a NTFS. So Windows mostly it will use a NTFS. So just imagine like you have around 1 TB, like 1000 GB of a size of your hard disk. But for your Kali Linux, you just need 100 GB. So what you will do, you will just make a partition of 100. You will just sync to 100 GB. In that 100 GB, when you're syncing, okay, so then you will delete that 100 GB where it will be unallocated space. And there you will be installing the Kali Linux. Okay, so for installing the Kali Linux, you have to boot the pen drive. The Kali Linux, you have to boot the pen drive. Okay, this is like for doing the dual boot, and where you will install that Kali Linux into the 100 GB of your partition. Okay, when you're going from the BIOS, like you have to disable the secure boot also from the BIOS, and then you can get into the boot menu and you can select the boot pen drive, bootable pen drive. From there, you can install the Kali Linux and you can select the disk what you have created, the partition, that unallocated space of 100 GB. You will select that, and the your Kali Linux will install in that. And then and also you have to notice that you have to install the grub bootloader properly, because that grub bootloader will help you to switch the different OS in the same system. Okay, so it will that you have to do properly. But this is like lot of complexity is there. That's the reason, as a beginner, I will suggest you guys to go with a virtual environment. So the third option is like virtual environment, where you will be having a software, virtual software like a VMware or VirtualBox. So you will install that software. In that you will install the Kali Linux. Okay, you will be having the Windows system. In the Windows system, you will be installing the VirtualBox. In that VirtualBox, there will be a Kali Linux you will be installing. So it is very simple, and we'll go through this step. Okay, once if you have a proper touch and you are efficiently you are using the Kali Linux, then you can go with a dual boot or single boot. But as a beginner, I suggest you to go with a VirtualBox. Okay, so here now I'll just explain you how to install Kali Linux in the VirtualBox. Okay, before going into that, first you search on the Google Kali Linux. You will be getting the official website of the Kali Linux. Okay, just click on that Kali Linux. Just search Kali Linux and you will get the link. Okay, just visit the website at kali.org. This is the website. Okay, kali.org. Here you can see that download button is there. Just click on this download button. Okay, and here you can see that there is a lot of different options are there. Okay, like installer images, virtual machines, ARM, mobile. Okay, so we'll go from starting. Installer image is like a ISO file where like you will be follow up the all procedures of installing your OS, like when you're doing as a single boot or dual boot. Okay, so you will be using this installer image because that will be the extension of ISO. So ISO image will be there where you will use it for a booting the pen drive. And also you can use for installing the into the VirtualBox also. Okay, then don't be get confused. I will just show you how we can use this thing. And the second option is like virtual machines. Okay, the virtual machines is like a inbuilt file. You don't have to follow up the complete procedures for installing the Kali Linux. You just have to download this and import into the VirtualBox or VMware. Okay, so this is for a virtual environment. I'll just check. See, VMware, VirtualBox, Hyper-V. Okay, so we'll go. I suggest you to go with a VirtualBox because it is open source. Okay, it's a free from Oracle. So that's the reason you don't have to pay. The every features will be free only. Okay. And installer image will be virtual machines like inbuilt file, but installer image is a ISO file where you will download, you will install the from starting onwards. Okay, when you're using Apple, Mac OS and all. Okay, when you have a Apple lap, so Apple laptop, you can go with the Apple Silicon, this file. So this file you have to download for your MacBook. Okay, but once if you're as a Windows user, you can go with this 64-bit of this one as a installer images installer. This file which is have a click on 64-bit. There will be two options like 64-bit and 32 bits. If your laptop supports 32 bits, you have to go with the 32 bits. But as our system is like 64-bit, that's the reason I'll go with this 64-bit. Now here you can see that there is a download button where 3.6 GB it was mentioned, and torrent file is there. Some is the one hash value which makes a confirmation that the file what you are downloading, this is genuine file. Okay, some websites you can go and you can download the file. There will be a checksum which we call as checksum. So if it's not matching the proper checksum of the file, it means like it's a modified file. Some social engineering happen and some malicious script have been inserted. Okay, so you have to confirm that some has value. Okay, so for confirming this one. Okay, so now just click on this download button. You can observe here. Once you click on this download button, it will get start download. See the last ISO in the bottom left side, you can see .iso file it was showing. So in the folder. So it's downloading, so it's still not confirmed. Okay. So I already have downloaded this file. So that's the reason I just pause it. Okay. I'll just show you where it was. So here this file is there, Kali Linux file, which is already downloaded. Okay. So next we need a VirtualBox. So just Google it, download VirtualBox. You can see this official website, www.virtualbox.org. Just click on this. Now you can see the left corner, there is a download. Then the left corner, downloads. Click on downloads. And here you will observe for different environment like Windows, Mac. Okay. So now our system is Windows. That's the reason I have to click on Windows host only. So now it's getting download. And this file also we have been downloaded. That's the reason I'll stop it. Okay, I'll pause this. Okay. After getting download, so we have to wait for a while.